Hello, welcome to episode number 304 of the IGN UK Podcast. We're back from Paris.
Actually, no, because some of us did not go to Paris.
Well, the important ones are back.
The
All
cool
the
ones.
We'll just say the site ran without you.
The jocks went to Paris to play football and hang with the cheerleaders.
Please don't refer to yourself as a jock.
We're definitely the jocks. What would you be? Cheerleader?
Well, then that means we're sleeping together, Gav. So you know what?
I'm fine with that.
You fucking win.
Okay. I've done all right. I can do a lot worse.
Somebody's bunching up.
Speaking of being jocks, what have we got? We've got some Fallout beer that we've been sent in, which is inspired by Vault Tech Industries. So we thought we would crack these open and see if they taste. Now,
if they taste.
if they taste.
It might taste.
Or they're just water.
Now, it's a nice little label on it. But then you open it up, and it's inspired by Vault Tech Industries, also really, really good. But then Pils and Lager brewed and bottled in the EU by Carlsberg UK. So immediately, alarm bells are ringing for me.
The illusion is shattered.
So presumably this is just Carlsberg then in Fallout
with a
wrapper.
It's insane that they haven't
you.
bothered to actually devise their own brew. So
I thought that they could have maybe enlisted, maybe like a smaller brewery, like Brewdog or something. Like Brewer was massive, but it's not.
So just to give you all an idea, I don't drink beer. In keeping with my cheerleader persona, because I'm a classy lady. So I'm usually on the wine or the spirits.
Okay, so smell.
I'm getting hints of Carlsberg from the media.
Do they have Carlsberg in America? I'm not sure.
More importantly, do they have it in the apocalypse?
Because in America, Carlsberg I remember going there 2 years ago, and they were like, "Hey, do you want a European beer?" I was like, "Well, I've just come from there." So,
not that exciting.
But they were like, "Oh yeah, we've got this new beer, Stella Artois." I was like, "What?"
No one talks like that. First off,
so in
mental.
America, Stella's this big, really, really high end
phenomenon.
beer. Whereas here, it's sort of, it's called traditionally wife beater, because a lot of violent men drink it and then go on the rampage. So should we have a taste? See what it tastes like?
Yeah, why not?
It's just gonna be Carlsberg, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh, shut up. It's not that bad.
It's liquid bread. Beer is liquid bread, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, it just tastes like Carlsberg, to be honest.
It's pairing really nicely, actually, with my half drunk cup of tea that I think I'm just going to have to retire from the side at this point.
Amazingly, not the worst Fallout bit of marketing thing that's going on right now, and we'll get to one of the other ones later on. But yeah, Fallout beer, not good.
It's all right.
Well, so there we go. The more you know.
Look, you can't be picky in the apocalypse, guys. You take what you can get.
What video game would you like to see a beer of?
There's a local bar, Drink, Relax, Play, or Loading Bar actually is the name of the bar, and they do lots of video game themed cocktails. And when I was there last, I got to try. They have a Majora's Mask milk bar cocktail.
Gross.
It's really good.
Shut up.
I really liked it.
Do you know what? Those cocktails are just pure sugar. So I'm like,
yeah, well, that's why I like it.
You're bouncing off the wall.
I do genuinely love that bar. It's full of really, really good board games, and it's got a SNES there with NBA Jam in. What more do you want? But those cocktails give you the worst hangover because they are just sugar.
Yeah,
you were probably alright on it, right?
Well, I was fine, yeah. Because
you wake up alright.
I was I gotta hit my quota for the day. Can you put some sugar cubes in this cocktail?
They put you on the toilet longer than Tilly. They give you what we commonly call the alco-plops.
Oh.
Is that what happens to you when you drink sugar?
When you drink a lot of...
Is it real
Not
milk
that I
in
drink
it?
sugar.
Is there real milk in it?
Milk or cream, some sort of dairy-based product.
Kind of like a white Russian type of thing.
No, but it was sour.
Yeah.
Maybe the milk had gone bad.
This is awful.
The thing that I like about it is they haven't gone for maybe a theme. They've just gone Fallout. It's Fallout beer. They haven't gone a clever name or anything like that. It's just beer from Fallout.
See,
right?
I've been desperately trying to think of a pun, and all I've come up with World of Winecraft, which isn't that good.
Well, I was really disappointed because
that's not bad.
That's all right.
It's something you've just come up with.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Well, Black Ops. Black Ops 3, which is coming out, has a zombie mode, and in the zombie mode, you have all these different perks in the form of drinks. So you have Speed, Cola, Juggernaut. You can all these different kind of drinks that you can have. So it's they're gonna do an alcoholic promotion for Black Ops. Right, it's already sorted. No, they're gonna make Black Hops.
That's amazing.
That's all right, man.
But I mean, like it was there. You could have like taken something from the game, like
Fallout beer.
it's like a punch in the face. Yeah, it's just like
This is like one of those
insane.
like Simpsons meetings where they were like, right, we need to come up with a beer.
Yeah.
Something like Fallout beer, but not quite as shit. The manager leaves like, you guys all right with Fallout beer? Yeah, fine, let's go.
Maybe they just made to make sure you don't miss it. Black Ops could be anything. You're like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a lovely
But
beer.
I don't even think it's like a stout or anything. So
It is,
it's just
in fairness, we're being a bit harsh because it has got a really nice label. But,
Yeah.
it's cool.
I mean, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
If we don't
because-
drink all,
because sometimes inside's Carlsberg.
if we don't drink all these, we should definitely keep one.
I've
Just
got a giant box of them.
Amazing.
God knows all of
So-
them aren't getting drunk. Actually, they probably are. We're not picky men.
Don't test him. Yeah.
Let's be honest.
All right,
Exactly.
well, let's move on to the good and the bad. We haven't had any people send in
I know.
suggestions for...
We haven't had any this week. We had some
Rum and
some
bum.
older ones. Yeah, rum and bum.
So please send some in. If you've got an idea of what we can call the sections, good or bad, rum or bum, then please let
Because
them on.
otherwise we have to defer to Alex's judgment.
Rum and bum, I like it. I like that. What have you got?
Well, so
Here we go.
My
Here we
favourite
go.
thing. This
Kick
is
it
it.
off. Into gear.
Brace yourself, people. Okay, BlizzCon. By the time you are listening to this, it will either be happening or be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, BlizzCon is
That's
here.
how time works, Luke.
Yeah, that is how time works.
Yeah.
And I am very excited. It actually isn't one of the bigger BlizzCons we've had. We're not expecting any massive announcements. But having said that, there's quite a lot of potential. So we're going to find out more about the new Warcraft expansion, which I'm kind of excited about, but I'm kind of over Warcraft. I say every year before I resub.
Yeah.
There's also mutterings of a Diablo expansion, which I predicted before Gamescom.
They need to come up with a better word than expansion.
Well, what?
Sounds so boring.
But now expansions are...
Rockets.
Diablo
That's
Rockets.
just a thing, Gav. That's
Rocket
not
cat.
Also,
Rocket cat.
Diablo Rocket League.
happy,
Just words.
happy bonfire night to all of you Brits over there. So yeah, Diablo expansion, like to see that. There's probably going to be a new Hearthstone adventure. I got you into Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, and then I fell out of love with it.
Yeah.
My phone was so old it couldn't run it. Every time I won or lost a game, it would crash.
You got a new phone
But
now?
I have a new phone now, and now I'm a little bit scared to get back into it. But I might do it.
Is it the kind of thing you would get addicted to? No, in fairness, it's the kind of thing that you would just get really good at because you're annoying like
It's
that.
well, it's a really. Thank you.
But good annoying.
It's
Wow.
it's a super like passive thing. Like
Yeah.
if you're commuting or literally just like walking anywhere, it's kind of like it's the equivalent of a podcast in game form. It's like I have like 3 minutes where
You're
I'm not
just
doing
saying
anything. Like, I'll
words,
just-
Rory. These are just...
No, it's something really light that just like accompanies you when you're not doing
But it
anything.
can be quite intense, though.
Oh yeah, well I mean
the,
if it's an esport, like
the
people.
higher you get up.
Yeah, well I'm
Well,
very low. I'm
that's-
a bottom feeder.
I don't usually care about BlizzCon.
Haven't said that word in a while. I'm realizing the context is a little different when you're an adult.
I'm a really low. I mean, I'm a bottom feeder. Okay.
I think that was your best Rory impression yet, to be fair.
Pretty good.
It was, yeah.
Like,
It's because he's out of beer.
It's good. Well,
As much as I do like big conventions where like a lot of people focus on like one thing, like eFanFest or like Minecon, like games that I'm not really interested in, but I like that lots of people like them and get really obsessed by them.
Yeah.
But this one has come up a little bit more. Maybe one because they're really pushing the esports thing
yes.
this year.
So there's also some esports competitions going on
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and they've been kind of building up to it
Yeah.
for ages. They've been doing the Road to BlizzCon type thing, which
That's cool.
and we will get onto some other esports competitions, but
Yeah.
like how they do kind of regional
Yeah, yeah,
qualifiers. So
And
yeah,
then-
we think it's going to be a Ulduar expansion for Hearthstone and Adventure.
Wow, that means.
What are you most
So-
excited about?
But-
Which one? Oh,
Well, we'll
Why
get to
the
that
other
'cause there's
reason,
more.
Oh.
sorry, the other reason that I'm super into it this year is because they're gonna reveal the trailer for the movie.
The movie trailer,
in
yeah.
the opening ceremonies
I'm
on
so
Friday
excited.
night.
Now,
the clip looks amazing.
No, it doesn't. It looks bullshit.
No,
So
it looks
here you
great.
go.
Except for that really bad.
People are moaning about the CG, and I don't really know.
Is that a pack of space
I was
dogs?
going to say, is that
That's the
space
weirdest
owls?
noise I've
sounds
heard.
like one of those things where you swing around your head like.
Space owls.
What are the space owls doing? So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be good. They seem to be faithful to the subject matter.
Yeah.
It's just a question of. I mean, it was always going to be really heavy on the CG, right? I think
Yeah.
where a lot of people are disappointed is if Avatar could look that amazing. Why does there's some stills from the? I mean, it's still obviously in post production, but there are stills where and look how much Jurassic World came on, right,
Yeah.
from those early trailers. So it's not a big concern, but yeah, no, I'm excited to see that movie trailer.
But at the same time, if you're only showing a little bit, make sure it looks good.
But bear in mind that Jurassic World trailer where the
Yeah, the
thingy
big
jumped
guy.
out of the water. That looked...
Not that bad.
Everyone was saying it looked gash.
People are picky though.
Yeah, but that's what happens though. One person says one thing, and then everyone takes it as like.
Are you telling me that the internet is an echo chamber?
A lot of people take it as like, okay, that's the opinion for. That's what we hold now. That's what. Anytime we talk about the Jurassic World trailer, that's what we'll talk about forever. That's what I fucking hate about.
Well, because it spreads. People want headlines and to pick at things.
We're part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, we are.
Well,
but, hey, pays the bills.
But no, I'm super excited for it because I think like. I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of Source Code, but I did really, really like Moon. So, I mean, can he go back to being good, or is it just going to go good film, all right film, shit film?
I mean, I don't... Dominic Cooper as an actor, I'm a bit... not a big fan. Paula Patton's surprisingly good.
I like Ben Foster, though.
Uh-huh.
I really like him. He's playing a wizard, not a magician.
Not a magician. Tilly, Jesus.
In an interview with him.
Well. Other stuff we should see... Heroes of the Storm, we'll probably get some new heroes announced.
Cool, that's awesome.
I love Heroes of the Storm.
More than one hero?
Yeah, quite a few.
Because, like, for League, a hero reveal is like a big thing.
No, they tend to announce, like... So they
bunches?
Well, a while ago, they did, like, a Diablo thing, and they were like, these are 3 Diablo heroes coming and a new Diablo battleground.
Gotcha.
And then they kind of had... It was called the Eternal Conflict, and it lasted for a couple of months. And they had some new skins as well that were...
Eternal
like,
Conflict. That's a good one, Gav.
So there you go.
Not
good band
expansion.
name.
Oh, right. We went different.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
And
Is Heroes of the Storm the thing with the Lost Vikings in?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Other than the Lost Vikings itself.
I know games.
And then StarCraft, obviously, because we're coming to the end of StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
So
Isn't it
there's
like a
that.
big final or something on Saturday night?
Yes, of the RTS. And so a lot of people are thinking, oh, is this the end of the big RTS? Because when have we... what are the AAA RTS games are there anymore? They've kind of all morphed into MOBAs. There's also... Now, these are the other 2 ones that are potentially controversial from BlizzCon. One, Blizzard has said that it's hiring a high-level software designer to work on classic games. So the idea being...
That's good. I'm looking for a job.
So they've said... Everyone's like, are they going to remaster their old games like Warcraft 3 and the original Warcraft
that'd be good.
stuff? They've now come out and said, like, don't be silly. We just maintain old games, because people still play StarCraft and Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
They're like, we just want someone to make sure it works with the modern systems like Windows 10 and stuff.
This was the leak, right? So they leaked
that
like a
came out a
job
couple
post
days
or
ago.
something like that, yeah.
And then the last one, which I think is the most exciting. So their first new IP since 1998 is obviously Overwatch. And
that's
Overwatch
really good.
is in beta.
We played it.
Yeah.
We played at Gamescom.
Did we?
Yeah, we all played as a team.
Nope.
That would be a different game.
What was that?
That'd be
Blood.
Blood.
That was a different one. That was
Battleborn.
Battle Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Battle Bloodborne, yeah.
That was Battleborn,
But
dude.
it's
Different one.
6 of 1.
Different games for different needs. It's fine.
Oh, I'm so glad that
Jesus.
you're here. So no, but that Microsoft for some reason is on site of BlizzCon, and they're doing a bit of the stream with
It was
them.
coming on Xbox.
It looked like Overwatch is going to be on Xbox, especially as some source code was found in the Overwatch site a couple of months ago that basically said...
This is coming on Xbox.
Where it said, authentication approved Xbox and authentication approved PS4.
Why does that need to be on inside the code for a website? Just
think-
don't do it.
I think because you have
How
to...
is it still happening?
Well,
because
who
you
do you
have to
think is gonna... What man is gonna hack the code of a website? It's like
Everyone.
single
This
time.
is how,
so
This
mental.
is what my
like,
job happens about.
the public are too smart. They need to...
Well, so it's
we
all
shouldn't
right.
be able to do these things.
You're kind of
It's
all over it
unbelievable.
because you said, who's going to hack it? I'm like, well, everyone. Yeah, you're right. Public too smart.
You've turned it around.
Everyone's a hacker.
You're right. You've convinced me. So that's basically what we're expecting. But I think what will probably be is like the betas will be on Xbox.
Okay.
And then it'll come out or release first on Xbox.
Like a delay thing, yeah.
Yeah. But either way, so there's a lot of potential, and that's happening on Friday and Saturday. And yeah, I'm quite excited for the trailer. I think.
I'm excited for the trailer.
I want a Diablo expansion so badly.
Well,
I just love it.
Less excited about that.
Well, good. But yeah, that's Luke gushing all over the
That's
floor.
what we should call it. Gushing.
Gush or blush?
No,
with
gush-
embarrassment. Gush or
No, gushing is good. What can be bad?
Thrush.
gush and thrush. Let's call it that. Okay, gush and thrush.
Gush
There you
and
go.
thrush.
You guys have missed out. You
Brilliant.
writers. If you do have an idea for next week that hopefully includes some cystitis related thing, then
Send
it's,
it in.
IGN_UK
Or
feedback.
mush, actually. Mush is quite good.
I
No,
prefer
we've
thrush.
gone for
Gone
thrush.
for thrush.
IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com. Mm-hmm. I've had thrush. It's not very pleasant.
Okay, I'm moving on to this. What am I doing?
Fargo.
No, but what is the good? What is the good?
I don't know.
Plush.
Gush.
Oh,
Gush. Gush. The thing I'm gushing about this week is Fargo Season 2 is back.
Yay!
I actually didn't realise this was coming back at all. Like, it's been quite sort of like a hushed release. The first one seemed to be everywhere.
I get, yeah, that's good.
Nice. Next week.
Yeah, we can't stop.
The first one like seemed to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe because Martin Freeman was in it. But this one, like, it's a lot quieter of a release. I'm only 2 episodes in, but apparently episode 3 and 4 are pretty amazing.
I know what you mean. Like when that show was coming out, there was like
Yeah.
a really big push. Like all the adverts,
Yeah.
were all over television. I feel like every single break, it was like new show, new
I
show.
feel you
like-
were overselling this
No,
slightly.
it was
No,
like
it was
super hyped.
everywhere.
But that's why, yeah, same as you, I find it strange that there hasn't
Yeah.
really been a lot of hype, especially
No.
if it gets to the second season. That's a big deal.
And because it's really, really good as well. Maybe because of, True Detective had its first series. That's another anthology series where it's going to change every single season.
Yeah.
Oh, G-Margie.
That had his first series. Everyone really loved it. Second series, not really anybody liked. Everyone loved the first series of Fargo. Maybe everyone's like, well, maybe the second series is going to be shit.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
that's why, I'm not
So
sure.
they're doing the same thing, like different characters, same
That's
world.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Same world.
That's tough. I don't really like it when shows
Don't you?
do that. No.
See, I like it when they do it well. Like American
well,
Horror
maybe
Story
that's
for
it. I've
me,
never seen
Oh,
one that
yes.
did it
What do
well
you think of
before.
American Horror Story on that?
like, I stopped watching it after the hospital one because I thought the hospital one was borderline unwatchable. I hated it.
Well,
I loved the first series so much.
Well, I think was that a Ryan Murphy thing maybe, because when he changed
Yeah.
the cast of Glee, and they were all, I've actually thought they were just as talented, but when you become attached to a cast in a show, I don't know.
That was like
Yeah.
Skins for me. I used to love that show when I was a kid. And
I
then
found Skins very difficult when they did cast changes as
I
well.
never watched Skins.
it was good. It was all the rage.
I think I was too
when
old
I was
by
a
that
kid.
point.
You might have been too old. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I think
were.
I was too old.
I was like, does this happen? Is this?
This is real life,
Am I
guys.
more tragic than I thought
Yeah,
I
this is
was?
going to be amazing.
Yeah. They never
but-
played Xboxes.
But Fargo season 2 is really, really good. My favourite character in the moment is Jesse Plemons, who is Todd in Breaking Bad, or Landry from Friday Night Lights. And
Never seen any of these things.
He's put on a shed load of weight, and he's playing. I
shed?
can't remember her name. I can't remember her name, and she's like,
that was pretty good.
that was not good.
He's playing a shed.
You've been sitting next to each other for too long, and you think that's funny.
I know.
Sorry, talk about playing to the
good.
lowest common denominator.
But it's really good. Again, like, it's the same kind of theme. So as soon as you watch it, it feels like Fargo. It's got the same kind of soundtrack, same kind of like heist gone wrong type feeling.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. And again, it's one of the best things on TV, and I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
That's
I gotta
good.
dive right in.
So you two, obviously.
Yeah.
Last week we opened by talking about your lovely, lovely jaunt to Paris,
Mm-hmm.
but that was not the only jaunt you had, was it?
no,
No.
so me and Gav went to Paris for Paris Games Week.
No, you didn't.
Came-
You can take it. It tastes like liquid bread. and it's
Came
wrong.
came back to London for I think 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah.
Maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, and then immediately got an Uber to the airport and headed out to Berlin for the finals of the League of Legends Worlds 2015 Championship.
So for those who don't know, this is basically the world finals of the best League of Legends players.
Yeah, so
I think they could have got that from World Championship.
I pretty much
just
mentioned
called it
every
World. I
key
was
word.
just
Yeah, I was very specific in the description of what we went to.
I kind of
In case you weren't listening to
Sorry.
3 words of that
Sorry,
last
I
sentence.
completely-
For those of you who are deaf,
I just zoned out. I'm sorry.
so it was really cool. There were 2 European teams in the semifinals. Unfortunately, both of them got eliminated.
Yeah.
So it was 2 Korean teams, which was SKT, who went.
SK Telecom.
I'm not going to spoil anything. So, well, I will spoil something because it's over. They were almost undefeated
not
for the
Sopranos
entire
ending.
season. Well, that twist though in Game 3. Whew. They were almost undefeated for the entire season. They
Yeah.
lost 1 game in the
Yeah.
finals, which was great for the audience, great for the crowds, heartbreaking for them, obviously. But then,
Oh,
of course,
really?
they won it in the. Well, yeah, if you're going to go undefeated for an entire season
that'd
and then
be
you
pretty
lose in your
amazing.
second last game, that's
yeah,
rough.
but then you're not good enough.
But it was amazing. It was definitely the biggest esports experience that I've had so far. It was at
Yeah.
the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin,
Yeah.
which was huge. It was monstrous. You didn't really get like a scope for it until you actually just went into the hall and you were
Yeah.
just surrounded by these like screaming crowds and these giant screens. And it was just so cool that everyone was
looked-
there for this one purpose to watch these
Yeah,
like
yeah,
5
yeah.
people
Looked
play
insane,
games.
right? Because so am I
Yeah.
right in thinking it was almost in the round?
360
Like,
dome,
yeah.
yeah. Because because Rory and I went to the quarters. Which
Yeah,
was,
the quarterfinals in London.
Yeah, and when we went to see that
saw-
was end on.
Yeah, I
still.
saw a lot of people complaining about that.
What about it being end on?
Yeah.
Because it stretched quite far back, so
Yeah.
I don't know unless you like brought your glasses with you and you were really far back.
Yeah.
And they
you
did,
might not get.
and also they didn't something that they seem to have with your one in Berlin was that there were more screens.
Yeah.
Whereas because even the screens weren't even the size of screens that when I've been at Wembley watching gigs, they were like these were smaller screens than that.
Really?
So I do think there were elements of being like
These were giant.
no
man.
idea
There was
what was
it
going
was
on.
basically screens all the way. Like I have to say, like if there's anybody listening that doesn't know what League of Legends is or anything like that, I know what League of Legends obviously, but I hadn't watched that many games.
Yeah.
And I like was kind of going along just to I'm into esports and I'm into sports in general, so I was kind of going along to sort of see what it's like at that kind of level. But yeah, there was like there's like jumbotrons like basically all the way around the like stage, and then there's like little screens then for like people in the audience as well.
So if you get tickets to, like the front row, it means you can see the players up close, but you don't have to crane your neck to see everything. There's TVs in front of you as well.
I mean, it's surreal. Like, I mean, you know, I didn't know that much about League before I went to the quarters, but it's very much like, you know, I don't know anything about football, but you understand, okay, this team is trying to go that way, this team's trying to go that way, and and as time goes on, you know, you learn key players. You know what they do. You know, that's the striker who knows.
Well, League of Legends is...
And it's the same.
Like, it's a great one to get into if you're thinking about, you know, tuning into some esports. Because, I mean, at its core, it can be quite complicated when you learn about what people are building and their equipment, the champion selections, the laning. But, you know, at the edges, it's very, very streamlined. Which team has the most kills? They're most likely doing the best. Which one has pushed further towards the other person's goal? They're mostly likely doing the best as well. And it was just really, really cool because, I mean, as I said, we've watched some esports coverage before, but this one was just, you know, to the nth degree. It was so, and just to be surrounded by so many fans that are so passionate about it. They traveled from like all over the world. There's people from like Ireland who would come over to Berlin like to watch the game. It was crazy.
The thing that I really liked about it was we went to this press conference, which was probably one of the like most awkward press conferences I've ever sat through. I think because
it didn't help that there was like 4 languages being spoken.
That's why it was kind of awkward because it was just like the guys on stage were speaking Korean. Then they were being asked questions in like German, English, Chinese, and then getting those translated through a translator, going to them, coming back, and it was super awkward.
I can't imagine that because it's like when we do interviews with someone who doesn't speak and we don't speak the same language. You can tell the rhythm's gone, but in front of an audience of that size.
Well, it was quite cool as well because everyone at their desk had like
it was like the UN.
It was insane. We had these little packs, and you switch the channel, and then you would be like translate to the English. Someone was obviously translating it, and it would go through to everyone on the floor. It was pretty cool.
It was like, but there was something there that one of the co-founders of League of Legends said, which was like he was asked a question saying there's actually less people. There was room for less people in Berlin than there was at the last Worlds.
The one in Korea.
Yeah.
Because it was obviously huge there.
But he said that was on purpose. Like he said, we could have gone to a bigger arena in Berlin or in Europe. But the reason we've done that is to make the experience on the day as good as possible for the people there.
Yeah.
So it's like they'd rather have less people and make the experience like super, like really, really good.
It was interesting as well because he touched on, I mean, like when you think about the growth of an esport, the first things you go to are like how many people are watching this like in the arena, like how many tickets is it selling, and then also where is it being streamed. So when people heard that Worlds was being streamed on BBC Three, they're like, this is crazy, it's a real thing now. And in the conference he was saying like we don't really have an interest in streaming on television because the audience isn't there. Like they don't have to. People are, you know, inquiring about the rights to stream these sports and they're not really bothered about it.
That's the
thing.
thing.
It makes sense.
Unfortunately, that's kind of legitimizes it by putting it on TV. People go, oh, it's on proper telly. Oh, it must be really good then, which is bullshit.
And like because what was it? I believe was it a couple of years ago? One of these ESPN hosts made that really disparaging comment and was like, "We will never show. I will not work here if we start showing video games on ESPN." And then next thing you know, they're showing like Worlds on ESPN, and he just is very quietly keeping his job. Just like
that's annoying. Like I watch a lot of American sports. Like I'm really into NFL, and I do kind of enjoy that the overblownness of it. But I think the thing that I came away from it thinking was like super disappointed in that they haven't come up with an interesting way of covering esports. I don't think like they're literally just taking the language of American sports. Like really, really crazy, like esport, like not esports, so like NFL and like ESPN coverage,
like Sports Center and those kind of shows.
And they've just gone, we're going to do the exact same thing. It doesn't work, man, because like you look at the people going in, like 90% of the people, and like obviously you can make judgments based on what people look like and what people are into, but like just from knowing friends that I know who are into video games and not, and you know, 80% of them not being into sports. There are a lot of people who are into American sports and into sports in general. I know that, but the percentage is quite low. And then to have this like really odd, overblown, like ESPN style, like, you know, 4 white guys in their like suits going, and yeah, he's doing this now. And it's just like, it doesn't work, man. Like, do something more interesting.
I understand. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. I think if someone can crack it, because that is how you kind of bring in the big audience. But it is, for me, it's quite interesting because, you know, up until like 6 months ago, whether I'm watching a sports broadcast or an esports broadcast, I have no idea what the presenters are saying. Whereas now, at least if I'm watching an esports
this is the thing. So
I do.
An interesting sort of like way of that is, so we were doing some stuff with, so we do like an esports weekly thing, which is like presented by Coca-Cola. It's like this weekly esports show basically. And the guy who was presenting for us like knew so much about League of Legends, but then when he was chatting to us, like we were just dicking about, like about the thing. Whereas he was like very focused, but like I think he wanted to talk like stats and stuff like that, which you can kind of do, but I can't. But I can chat on camera about something that I'm interested in. But it was just like, it was a really mismatched thing because
we disconnect.
That's the thing, because we weren't taking it seriously. Because why would we? We do the video exactly like we would do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, because that's fun. Like,
But it was quite nice because then obviously when we were out there, it meant that like
Yeah.
the esports weekly team were taking care of like the interviews and like talking like recaps of the games and things like that. Where then me and Gav could go out into the crowds and interview cosplayers and say, you know, who's your favorite champion? Let's do like a supercut and do some, you know, more like lightweight stuff.
Amazing like fans and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
really, really good.
Really cool.
It
People
was
go
really,
to like insane lengths for League of Legends cosplay.
If like I would, even if you're remotely into games, like next time it's in London, or if you listen to this UK or wherever you listen to it, if you can get to an event just to see what it's like it's actually a lot of fun.
And I have to say as well, having been to sporting events and stuff as well, I don't know, there's a lot less kind of, we want these people to lose, we want these people to win. It's just very much like kind of a celebration of gaming.
Well,
and also in its formative years like this, I think this is like when it's really exciting, when everyone's like, hell yeah, this is amazing.
There was an amazing bit in the press conference, so this is the last bit, we've gone on with this quite a lot, I know, but like there was an amazing bit in the press conference where it was like, there's this Chinese guy sitting behind us that was like,
oh my god. I know exactly what you're going to say.
And it was like Friday night, so me and Rory had been up for quite a long time. And they did have beers at the press conference, which you probably don't get at the NFL, I don't know. But so we'd had a couple of beers, so we were listening to this press conference, and this Chinese guy, like, he was actually asking a question in English, right?
Oh, it was so messy. No, it was I think it was, a Chinese person asking a question, which had to be translated
into Korean.
Yeah.
So, but it was being translated by the Chinese guy to the Korean dude to the Korean team. So it was like, but his point was just like, I sat next to man on plane, and he said that Wolf, who's one of the players in SKT, Wolf said, "There's a discussion online about you. What do you think?"
It was the most broken
I was just
question.
looking at Rory going, what the fuck is he talking about? He was like, I don't know, man.
And this is the worst part though, because he didn't get it immediately. That led to like more questions being asked. It was like
that got
huge,
translated by one guy to another guy to the team member. Team member said something, which got translated to one guy, back to another guy, back to this guy. He goes, I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
What? Back to another guy, back to the other guy, back to the player, back to this. But it was just like, and it went on easy 10 minutes.
It was unbelievable.
To the point where we were just looking at each other, just like,
Is this a really, really bad time to use the phrase Chinese whispers?
I'm pretty sure that's racist.
Well, I don't know if it is, because I don't think it is.
Oh,
I think that's racist.
So done. I was so done.
Yeah.
So tired.
Right,
But,
what else is
amazing.
good?
So, I'm happy this week that they are discontinuing the Slave Leia merchandise. Leia, even.
Say Leia?
I did, yeah. Thinking of Leia Jackson.
You like the Star Wars real good.
So basically, it's unsurprisingly, you can imagine what the IGN comments were like on this story. But no,
Don't say that, because there are some nice people who comment
There
on that
are,
show.
but the vast majority of them were kind of like, liberal lefties gone mad and all of this.
Are they still selling this?
So,
like new iterations of this?
The way it kind of all started was...
that's a good point.
Carrie Fisher said to Daisy Ridley, who's playing Rey in the upcoming film, don't you feel pressured to do it? Like, don't let them, keep fighting that bikini. You don't have to do this. You're an actor.
Fight that bikini.
And she was like, yeah, I won't do it. And anyway, so...
I don't think Carrie Fisher was forced into the bikini.
Well,
it was like an in-joke. The bikini started as like an in-joke because...
I think at the time she probably didn't, and now it's become like kind of like a bit of a bane of her existence.
Because the way that it started was she was kept being dressed in like these like robes.
Yeah.
And she said, "Can you please dress me in something that I actually look like a woman?"
Yeah.
And that George Lucas' idea of a woman is slave Leia costume.
Yeah, it's like, Well, you asked for it.
Which is worrying by
George.
itself.
Yeah. So, Star Wars comic book artist J. Scott Campbell apparently wrote on his Facebook, Disney is wiping out the slave Leia.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know, slave Leia outfit.
Are you having a stroke?
So Marvel artists aren't allowed to draw her in sexy poses.
Oh, okay.
And a 3D statue won't go into production because of the new mandate. Daisy Ridley won't have to fight against anything. Disney is already well on its way to wiping out the slave outfit from any future products, period.
That's
you
good.
will not see any future merchandising featuring the outfit ever again.
One
Trust
of
me.
my favorite comics of all the Marvel comics that have come out is the Leia comic, because she is a badass in it, and the art is done. I think I'm right in saying this. The art is done by a husband and wife duo.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Leia drawn as well as that before. It's so good.
I loved the trailers, and also the posters. She's got a character poster, and you've got a 59-year-old woman looking like a 59-year-old woman, and I mean that in itself is unheard of. I think it's great that they're getting rid of it. You know, it had its time.
So how old she is? 59.
She's 59, yeah.
That's crazy. How old is Harrison Ford?
Older.
Like 103?
He's older because she was the young one, wasn't she?
He belongs in a museum.
She's
That's how old he is.
Nice. She's
Like he's in the room.
she's in Catastrophe.
Yes,
which is
she's
a really awesome.
the mum, isn't she?
Rob Delaney's mum in there. Yeah, she's in a tiny couple of scenes in the first one, but in the second series, in the first episode, she's in quite a lot.
Yeah.
she must have been over in the UK filming Star Wars at the time she was doing
Yeah.
Catastrophe.
I think she's great.
crazy.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Catastrophe, you should definitely check it out. 'Cause it's really funny.
But yeah, so she's anyway said that, and there was a bit of a backlash on the site, being like, "Oh well, why don't they get rid of all of these scenes like this?" And people were linking.
I'm like, all right, then we will.
Yeah, people were linking like Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off, and I was like, if you can
shut
buy a Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off toy, I should have been informed about this some time ago. So I'm actually quite annoyed about that.
I'm sure
Wonder
you
if you
can.
can.
I'm sure there's a.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
I want Chris Hemsworth in a bathing suit.
But that doesn't even happen.
Don't matter.
It does in. He's in the water, and he's a really, really weird towel sequence in Thor 2.
There you go. I want him in a towel.
That's really weird.
So it's completely ridiculous. Like, you know, I'm not saying there's a time and a place for it, but this is such old merchandise. If you want it, it's been around. There's images out there. I think after
Surely they're not
30
making
years,
any new ones.
Well, apparently, yeah. After 30 years, if they decide we're discontinuing this line,
Yeah.
I think you've probably had your window. Like, you know what? You can probably chill out.
Can you imagine the guy who still works at the toy arm of Disney, just like, I've got some really good ideas for the new slave. No, we're not doing those anymore, Dimitri.
They're done.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Stop
Got some
doing
great
that.
ideas for the bikini. This is one,
yeah.
guys.
I bet his name's Eugene. We're not doing those, Eugene, okay? Stop bringing us those drawings.
What about the denim bikini?
No, out, Eugene, come on.
Denim bikini.
You're upsetting everyone. Don't cry.
You're upsetting the children. But it makes sense that Disney as well, you know. It's not very Disney image, is it?
What have you got?
Nothing.
You
Came
give
up with
up.
nothing. Yeah, nothing. He's very much clothed.
See, there's the
Well, his
thing.
arms are exposed. His giant
Against
arms.
Women's arms are often exposed. I mean,
That's
look,
true.
you compare this with the fact that, you know,
I'm not defending it.
I'm not attacking you.
don't-
Scarlett Johansson, you know, Black Widow, finding merchandise of her for the Avengers, you couldn't find it for love nor money, you know, and then still merchandise of naked Carrie Fisher from 30 years ago is everywhere.
That is pretty
People
mad.
really need to get some goddamn perspective.
I think that's the problem. It's like it's a bit of an outdated look, obviously. But it's become so iconic. Like it's a part of the
Completely.
film now.
It's
But
not-
like
Yeah.
it's just a bad.
it's not going away, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, them being like, oh, it's just a bit of fun. It's like, well, yeah, but you know, at least have the
rubbish
balls
now.
to admit
Yeah.
it's because you're a fucking horn dog.
Well, that's it. If someone, and that's where you draw the line. If people are really offended by it,
Yeah.
then that's when you need to
Why
start
not,
making
eh?
changes. Exactly.
Anyway, so
Is
I
that the
think
first
that's
time
a
you've
good-
ever said that's where you draw the line?
That's where you draw.
That's
the
where
line.
you draw the line.
I don't
That's
draw a
where
lot
you
of
draw
lines,
the line.
guys.
That's where
and I'm a
Powers
freaking
draws the
artist.
line, okay?
So
Cubism.
All right, so
Exactly.
the last bit of gushing this week is a game that I sort of followed from the start that it started its Kickstarter. It's a game called Home Free, which is amazing.
So I think this is the game that, because they announced that's coming to PS4, right?
That's right, yeah,
Recently.
yeah.
Yes, because I saw this
Yeah.
and I wrote about it. Yeah, okay. On you go.
Well, I just want to put my little input as well that I'm a little bit disappointed immediately.
Why?
Because the first three words are home free dog, and I thought that said free hot dog at a passing glance. So I'm already going to be disappointed with
thought these were
what
going
this is
to
about.
fly in from the rafters.
I thought this was like
You get
a
a
little
hot dog.
break.
You get a hot dog.
Everybody gets a hot dog.
No, it's a game called Home Free, and it's basically it's a Kickstarter game, little indie game that's now coming to PS4, which is going to be really, really good.
Yes.
But you play one of several dogs now, because this was the reason that I backed this Kickstarter.
Hashtag stretch goals.
Because the stretch goals, I always think when people do stretch goals, I think, okay. But they were just like, if we get to this point, we'll add Dashens. Yes.
You sir have my money.
I was part of it from the beginning, so I was getting the developers emails, like as updates all the way through. And
Yeah.
it's just like, we're adding Dashens, guys. It's like amazing.
We actually did a feature on this game on the wonderful IGN Snapchat.
Really?
If you're interested? Yeah.
Awesome.
Little top that led up to a more longer video. So,
Excellent. Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's gone now, so
It is gone, but just that was a little plug for the IGN Snapchat.
the IGN Snapchat is amazing, actually, and you should check it out every
They
single
just like
day.
it because they're on it a lot.
Yeah.
We are a lot because we make some awesome stuff.
And not just body parts.
Not just
some
body parts.
skits
Some-
and fun bits as well.
Mostly body parts. to be
Mostly,
honest.
yeah.
But yeah, this game's been funny, but you can still chuck in money and get a copy of it. I went mad and
You funded this game
Is this
yourself.
the moment?
They're like-
That's the moment you cracked. Okay.
I think it made it was asking for 50k. I don't have it off the top of my head.
And you were
and
47 of that.
yeah, it made about. I think it's made about 90k now by now.
We're like, I don't think we're gonna make the goal. Offer Gav another dog. You're just sitting there like,
French bulldogs, making it rain. But I really like the look of it. I think it's a cool idea, and it's got a really, really sad sort of intro video where I want to know what happens, because the owner just leaves the dog, and then the dog just kind of sits there waiting for ages.
He's got to find its way home, right?
Yeah, but why would the owner leave the dog? I don't get it.
Maybe he's abandoning it.
It reminds me
Some
of
sort of Toy
It reminds me
Story-esque
of that Jurassic Park
montage.
episode of Futurama.
oh no,
With the
don't
dog.
bring up. No.
He's already
Let's not
cried.
bring it up. I know what it is. If you've seen that episode and you haven't cried, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a sad episode.
We should do it. That's a
Is it
feature.
like Beethoven's Fifth or whatever, the film?
It's more sad than that.
Oh, way
Home-
more sad.
Runaway Home. What's that film?
Homeward Bound.
Homeward
Homeward
Bound.
That's not even really sad, is it?
It's pretty sad.
Something to do with a dog's finding the way home.
This is sadder.
Like,
Why
if
sad?
you think about it, a lot of kids' movies are about just losing your parents and finding your way home, because that is probably the scariest thing as a kid that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Like Homeward Bound, the dinosaur one.
I lost.
Oh, Land Before
Like,
Time?
Land Before
That's a
Time.
great
Terrifying.
movie.
I lost
Yeah.
my mum in a Marks and Spencer's once. It was awful.
I lost my parents in Disneyland Paris once, and I thought, this is the end. This is where I live now. I live here.
I live here.
There are worse places to live.
Your parents find you and you're just like one of the attendants of the ride. It's gotta be this tall. Sorry.
I'm a carny now.
You're making friends with Mickey.
I'm an 8-year-old carny, sorry.
Oh my god.
You're the bearded woman. Yeah.
But I mean, I really like that game. If you go to Kickstarter and check it out, it's called Home Free.
The artwork looked really cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's going. I really can't wait to see it. But now onto something even better. Luke, you've been locked inside a nuclear fallout shelter. What are you going to take with you?
When did this start, by the way? Because I missed this whole.
So did I,
couple of weeks ago.
Okay, and was there any reason that it started?
Shits and gigs.
Fun.
Shigs.
Dance.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So, Okay.
You've prepared. You've written stuff.
Yeah, because you told me I had to have good ideas.
Are you going to be
do
taking
wanna-
in the Fallout beer?
No.
Not freaking
Yeah.
likely.
No, I won't. I'm going to be taking an attractive butler as my first item.
Okay.
Because companionship, but mainly I want someone to wait on me, and also sex. So that's my main thing, because
But,
I
like-
think that ticks most of the boxes.
What if they turn out to be an arsehole?
Well, no, because I said attractive butler.
I think you
No, but they
asking.
could still be an arsehole if they're
But
attractive.
butlers, I would not employ a butler who is not trained to a very high standard.
I think
No, but
you.
what if they don't have a very good personality? And like after a while, they just start to grate on you.
Well, they wouldn't, because they're my butler, and I wouldn't bring them in if they were shit. Do you
So
have any
not-
idea
they-
how many butlers there
So
are
they're not
in the
allowed to
world?
talk.
Well, they are if they're nice. And I wouldn't
Yeah, but
bring
you
them in
don't
if
know
they
they're
weren't
nice, though. This
But
is
I
the
would.
thing.
This is a butler that I've known from before the vault.
I think you still get sick of them.
I know.
I think
You
need to think about
asking
this.
for an attractive sex butler, I think, is weirder than my suggestions.
Infinite
I'm not
kitten.
saying something.
Infinite Kitty or whatever it is.
Well, kitten. Let's not get weird with it.
What I would do, just to, I mean, it's up to you,
Okay.
is like a really high-end
Escort.
Sex robot.
sex robot.
Yes, called it.
No.
Pepper. Bring Pepper.
Bring Pepper. When did we
But
talk
like a
about
really,
Pepper?
a really,
Pepper the sex robot.
We did talk about
Yeah.
that.
a really high-end sex
not a
robot
sex
that you
robot.
can program its face to change, and voice and personality.
Didn't we talk about this a while ago?
We
and
did,
were like,
yeah.
this is yeah, okay.
On the podcast?
It's a robot. He's like it's a emotional robot. You can like talk to and have conversations
It's the
with.
one thing you're banned from doing is having sex with Pepper.
But there's an LCD
emo
on
robot.
his chest,
And-
so you can like put images on his chest
and everyone's putting boobs on his chest.
and having sex with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not real boobs though.
Well, that's what. This is one of the points of conversation.
but
Well,
like-
I mean, they're real. They're pictures of real boobs.
Like from
Yeah, but they're on.
That's
a
all it takes,
screen.
Gav. That's all it takes.
Oh my god.
That's weird because you could put like just a penis on there.
I'm very aware how weird it is.
but
It's
you
a
know
Japanese
who has
sex
a
robot.
penis on the
Exactly.
middle of their chest.
I don't get it.
And yeah,
Wait, you guys don't?
wait, what? This is
Okay,
my third
so-
nipple.
Sorry.
Sexy robot butler.
Sexy flesh effect robot butler.
Nice.
One.
One.
I quite like my music, so I would bring Halcyon Days, the album by Ellie Goulding, because it's one of my favourite albums, and it's also the album.
Shut up.
was
You're going to
wrong.
bring an Ellie Goulding album into the shelter.
awful.
I don't get tired of that album.
Why would you not bring?
You're going to get tired of that album.
No, I don't get tired of that album. It's been out for years, and I listen to it whenever I have to write a feature, and I have to.
You're not going to be writing many of those in the bunker, Luke.
because I have to zone out and I have to zone my head out. I just listen to it, and it's like whale song. It's really relaxing.
Just writing features and chucking them into the sea.
No, Ellie
Carving it on a wall in blood.
Ellie Goulding is like whale song, and it's relaxing but not distracting. And so you can just focus on the task at hand. But if you want lyrics, you got songs like Goodness Gracious.
Just writing the next Guild Wars 2 expansion thing.
It's got a song.
Then chuck into my bottle and chuck into the sea.
It's
Better
got-
put Ellie Goulding on.
It's got songs for every mood. Listen, by the time they listen to this, there'll be a new Ellie Goulding album out, so maybe I'll take that one.
Why would you
instead.
not take a piano, guitar, an instrument to better yourself?
Because I
and
can't
flex your
play
creative
them.
muscles.
You could teach
You have the
yourself.
time.
Well, would my butler be able to play them?
No.
He's a robot.
He can have sex
He
with
can do
it,
what he wants.
though.
Well, no, he can't do what he wants because he'd be programmed to do what I want him to do.
I'm taking that because I've got to do this next week. So I reckon I'm gonna take instruments. So you carry on with Ellie Goulding.
Yeah,
bro.
okay, fine.
How many songs on that album? 10.
No, the Halcyon Days album's really long. It's something like 18.
Oh, that'll do.
18 songs. Sorry, this is till the end of time.
But I'm not going to last till the end of time, am I? Well, that's where it brings us on to our final.
Okay, right. So you got 18 songs to last you. Say you go in now, right? Which means you're probably gonna live.
But I'm not going to have it on loop. It's just something
This is
to
what
do.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Oh fuck! I probably need a CD player.
You can have. I'll give you a CD player,
Yeah,
saved it,
that's
right?
agreement. Okay,
But listen, how are you gonna do it? Are you gonna ration it out? So you think, right? Okay, I'm gonna live another 60 years. How many? Are you gonna listen to like one song for 8 months?
some
A
of it's-
second a day,
well,
just
some
like a
of it's-
blub.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Well,
That
some
was
of it's
ration
quite
it out?
mournful, so it depends. If one day Robot Butler had turned out to be a bit of a dickhead and they'd upset me, maybe I'd just go to the bedchamber and listen to some of the sad
bedchamber.
songs. for
I
a
think you
little
should.
bit.
I think you should ration out the songs because you'll have something to look forward to.
No, because the best part of this album is that it has a narrative in the way one song progresses to
Exactly.
another.
So it's like a cliffhanger.
No, I don't, because you don't appreciate the start of another song.
I think you
and
should
then
pick
the
a different thing and bring in the bunker.
All right, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia box
that
set.
is a solid season.
You pipe down.
Yeah, but that's lots though.
That's lots. That's
anyway.
hours.
We're not here to judge.
It's fine.
Well,
I am.
we
really,
are.
Okay.
All right.
And then
So hang
finally,
on. Sexy Robot Butler, Ellie Goulding, one Ellie Goulding album.
Not even her like.
First of all,
discography.
can I just say it's the deluxe Ellie Goulding album?
sorry.
So I'd rather let's
Sorry, I got the wrong end of the stick
let's
there.
take this seriously,
course,
please.
yeah.
And then finally, an electric razor, because nothing in this world irritates me more than like when my face gets a little bit scraggy. It like really and it,
If that is
How
your
are you
biggest
gonna plug
problem
it-
in
How
the
are you going to
apocalypse,
plug it in?
I thought you might give it to me. Like, maybe it runs on plutonium.
In fairness, Alex said he just want to take Minecraft. We didn't say, well, you got to take a
So
computer.
that'll be a TV.
He's just looking at it.
Just looking at the
read the instructions again. Yeah.
Yeah, just a digital code, 12 numbers and letters. So yeah, an electric razor as well.
So sex, music, comfort.
Yes, but also the razor then could be used to make sure all of the relevant areas for the sex robot work ship shape and in Bristol fashion, because
Why
I
is-
am a generous man.
No, but why is the robot growing pubic hair?
No, not for him.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you're
Why does
making
he
it nice
care?
for
But
him.
I don't know how far along we're going in the AI here.
What, he's going to start slagging you off because you've got really long pubes?
He's gonna start turning you down. Yeah.
These are the things. I'm just pointing out that I'm sensitive to others' feelings.
Oh, we know that.
That's nice of you.
So there we go.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's not... Yeah, no, it is some of the weirdest ones we've had.
Yeah.
Infinity Kitten.
Look, I had I think 5 hours of sleep.
I wish I had
when I
that.
came up with that one.
I wish I had that
yeah.
excuse. I had a sip of, quite frankly, average liquid bread at the start of this podcast. That's all I had.
Excellent. Well, that's what you would take into the bunker with you.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on to...
Thrush. Right.
What's
Speaking of the bunker and Fallout en general, what did you find this week? In case you thought that we've maybe been bigging up Fallout too much, because...
By slagging off the beer.
by having it here. at least.
Well, this is the thing. The Pip-Boy special edition. Now,
boy. Ooh.
it's a bit shit, isn't it?
I missed it when you tried this out because I didn't.
So did we do a video about
States beat us to us.
States beat us
Those
to
crafty
us.
states.
Ah.
There's a lot of dials that do absolutely nothing. There is a power button that seems to just turn on a light.
Do you know what? As soon as I picked it up, I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It weighs like less. This is a promotional Batman bottle opener, right? And this weighs more than that. Like it feels so cheap.
It's just
Aren't you
like
meant to put a phone in it though?
Yeah, you are.
well, yeah,
So there you go,
no,
that's for the
I'm not
weight.
dissing like the functionality of it and how it interacts with the app.
But
I'm
surely then
talking
that's-
that it looks
But
like
you
it
think
came from
that's why
Toys
they
R
made it
Us.
so light?
Well, yeah, because they don't want it
Not
to be
to
on
save
your.
loads of money.
They don't want it to be on your wrist and it
Hang on.
like breaks your wrist.
So it's got lights that come on.
Well, yeah, if you turn the
I need
That's
to
mad. Hang on, I'm tuning.
there's a tasteful way to build stuff out of plastic,
nudes.
and that's to like make the plastic look kind of like worn and gritty.
There's a tasteful way to build things out of plastic that
Okay.
doesn't like
Yeah.
deteriorate for
How do you-
10,000 years.
How do
and
you
it's
switch
just
it?
it's
How do
just
you switch
very
the light?
clean brown. There's not a lot of textures to it. You turn the light off here.
Tell you what, it's really laid my fears about Fallout
That
being
didn't
nothing
turn-
but brown.
Do you want to open
Fallout
it up?
is amazing.
What do you want to
Get
do?
Fallout.
What are you doing?
Oh, this is metal. The clip is metal.
Yes, the one.
Who's done that? Someone's
piece of-
broken the screen.
No, that was me. It's fine. Look,
I like you said
can,
no, that was me.
you can
Okay,
like
right.
you push this up,
Shit.
and then that opens there.
This is a very,
Oh,
this
right.
is
you
a
can
very
put your phone
visual
into the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
sorry.
Should,
This is,
you should probably check out the video to see like the full.
monstrosity.
or I
Yeah.
can describe it.
Do you know
Gavin's
what?
sausage hands are struggling to deal with the Fallout Pip-Boy.
The reason I put this in thing because I saw a lot of people I saw a lot of huge Fallout fans. You can hear how cheap those clicks are. Upset that they didn't manage to get a special edition Pip-Boy, and I put it on here. Don't worry if you didn't get one, because it's shit. And the game is going to be amazing. I reckon the game. I haven't played it at all. I think the game is probably going to be one of the best games of the year.
Look,
If
Are you not buying into the hype or anything?
Well, no, I just really like Fallout, and if they can do what they did with Fallout 3, but on PS4
Just
and
make the
Xbox
same
One.
game. Why don't they just remaster it then?
If you're
Are you saying that Guild Wars 2 expansion?
I like Guild Wars. It's completely new.
Like if they can do like they expand on like how amazing that Fallout universe was, it's going to be really good.
I think if you're a fan of the
Don't worry
game,
about this.
it's definitely kind of an out of the box item to include in a collector's edition. It looks great on the stand. When we have it on the stand, it looks really cool. In terms of functionality, which let's be honest, no one's really going to wear this
I have
around for
really
more than
small
like
wrists,
2 weeks.
by the way, and this is not working for me.
There is a way to
Do
tighten
you
it.
know
and say
one
at the
thing I
bands.
just thought of actually that maybe saves it a little bit? If you were a Fallout cosplayer, right? If you were a Fallout cosplayer, you could do some pretty cool stuff.
That's
with this.
true.
I'm not a Fallout
But
cosplayer.
look,
You'd
those
be
costs.
funny enough
Those
to-
costs like now they're selling for like upwards of like £100, I think, on eBay.
Well, these.
You could definitely buy a better just handmade cosplay one
Yeah,
because I've
probably.
seen really
Make
good
one out of
like
bog
gritty
roll.
like. Do not do that, for the love of God.
It feels like something Fisher Price would put out for a kid.
So Toys R Us. I'm saying
Yeah.
it feels like a Toys R Us toy.
Look at that. Like that's going to come off.
They don't do anything, and these do nothing as well.
Yeah,
that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so basically, if you didn't manage to get one,
Don't be sad.
don't be sad because it's shit.
Do be happy. Don't be sad. Thank
All right.
you, baked potato.
What else has given us thrush this week?
Right. The first image of Eddie Redmayne is Newt Scamander in Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them film has been released. And that image on the front of Entertainment Weekly, he just looks like Doctor Who. He looks like David Tennant. In fact, they've kind of dressed him exactly like him. He's got a bow tie
Yeah.
on. I just don't...
No, he hasn't got a bow tie on. He's got
Yeah.
he's got an open shirt.
I'm pretty sure it's a bow tie.
Ooh.
How much you want to bet?
because somebody said to me, I tweeted it and somebody said bow ties are cool.
I thought you had an open shirt.
Nope, I don't believe he does. I'm about a locker. So actually,
That's how it. You can't just say you
well, I'm
won.
looking. Hang on. So basically,
I'm looking.
I don't. I don't sound like
Freaking
that.
well, you do. You just did.
Either way, so I just
I
find
think it
it.
looks alright.
I'm not a huge fan of Eddie Redmayne anyway.
Are you?
I think he looks a bit like a trout, and I'm sorry. but-
No, he does a bit. It's his mouth. It kind of protrudes.
He looks a bit like you, is what he looks like.
How
Rory.
dare you, sir?
It doesn't.
How dare you?
I don't mind Eddie Redmayne.
No, well, he's a good actor.
What's
He's a
that
great
on his
actor.
face?
Oh, that's not the picture I saw.
Oh,
That's not the picture I saw.
Oh,
I saw a picture of him leaning over a bench
I'm sorry.
with his shirt
Is that from
wide
the,
open.
Is that from the private collection? So either way, I just
So hang
think,
on, you've got a problem with him because he looks like Doctor Who.
no, I just think, and that entire promotional image right there, that's very much like it looks like he could be in the TARDIS. We'll put it in the story. It looks very much like he could be in the TARDIS. I just find it kind of.
Looks
I don't know. It's
as
He looks
pretty
like a
fitting.
wizard, man.
As a first
Yeah,
image,
that's what I was gonna
it's
say.
not great, and I also just don't like this whole tousled hair thing. I don't know. I don't know why he was.
You sound like you're more against the film itself than the
Yeah,
promotional
than the
picture.
No,
actual
I like the
promotional
idea of it. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with it because it's obviously based on that book that was a spin-off for Children Need or.
I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to make money with it. They're going to make tons of money.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've got nothing invested in the Harry Potter universe. Like I've seen all the films
I'm same as you.
once all the way through, but I kind of like them. I'm not a massive fan of all the David Yates ones, and he's the one that's directing it.
Yeah.
But like,
He did the end ones as well. Of the.
but I don't know. I've got no problem with this. I kind of like the idea of them doing something a little bit different with that universe and going off in different characters and that, because the best things about those films are
the world.
like the ancillary characters, like the ones on the side, like that don't really get that much like time because they're so
Supposed to be
focused on this Harry Potter thing.
Oscar-worthy performances of the leads.
And it's like Star Wars. The universe is so well established, and
Yeah.
everyone is so infatuated with it that all you need to do is just like have an interesting story in that world, and it's
Yeah.
already going to
Well,
be claiming
I mean,
the hearts.
But
of,
also
like,
at the
so
same
many
time,
people.
it's a universe that we actually don't know that much about.
Yeah,
Whereas
because
Star
it's-
Wars, we know a lot about the galaxy and stuff like that and how things have gone on. But with this, I have no idea. Like when someone said yesterday, so there's a huge thing kicking off on the internet because Mudbloods are called Nomad.
Yeah, they're called Nomads in North America at this time.
that got me off guard.
No, Muggles are called Nomads
Nomad.
because they don't have
Yeah,
magic.
what did I say? Mudbloods. Oh, sorry, yeah. So Muggles are called Nomads. Muggle is a better word. But
It's so much better.
everyone was kicking off about it, and it kind of made me realise, actually, in the Harry Potter universe, I have no idea what goes outside of Hogwarts and the houses of the people who go to Hogwarts.
Yeah, like, bits to be mentioned, obviously, like, about Grindelwald and all of this, and, like, Durmstrang and all these different schools
What's that?
and stuff.
Oh, different schools.
So yeah, like,
Okay.
when you see it in The Goblet of Fire, for example, one
They've
of those,
come over from different
yeah,
schools.
one's from...
How did you not get that?
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't know where they
it's the
came
school
from.
like Olympics,
Yeah,
essentially.
so one is...
I've only seen the films once.
Yeah, so like Beauxbaton is in France, and then you've got
Right.
Durmstrang, which is somewhere in the
That's
east,
why
but they
that-
keep it hidden
that's why that
away.
Who's the
They were-
American? Who's the American team?
They don't have an American team in the
Whiz
Tri-Wizard-
Bros.
in the Tri.
They all
Wizard
came over with their
tournament.
backwards hats and they're like pushing over Harry Potter,
You know,
hanging him by his.
I think they did have.
Give me your lunch money,
They
Nomad.
cut all of that. The Quidditch World Cup as well. But
really?
Bulgaria is where Durmstrang is.
I always find that the Harry Potter world so strange because you have like Diagon Alley and like all the like wizard worlds, but then
Yeah.
also it'll cut to them just like on the buses in London, and you're like, this is so strange.
Well,
It's
the point
literally
being,
like
they can kind of straddle both worlds because Harry and
that.
Hermione were raised in this
where
world.
where
Yeah,
does
yeah.
the wizard world exist?
Well, it's everywhere.
You are.
Out of context,
Like-
that's a mental question.
It was, I was looking at your eyes, and there was 70% of me that was like, "Is he being fucking serious? Like, does he know Harry Potter's not a documentary? I know you weren't born in this country.
In theory,
I just want to check you do know Harry Potter's not real.
It's
Say for me on record,
Say for me, put it on
Harry
record.
Potter's not real.
it is not
Thank you very much.
entirely true.
That's what I needed.
Based
They
on
basically, they're in normal places, but there's charms around it. So either you can't see it, or when you approach it, you just, as a Muggle, you
no,
remember.
I mean
that
like
you're meant
like
to be doing something
Hogwarts.
else.
Where's that?
That's
No
a
match.
it looks like a Scottish ruin of a Scottish castle, and any Muggles who go near it, there's
No
charms
match.
around there to make any no-mages who go near it. That is a really shit term. Any no-mages who go near it think, oh my god, I've forgotten to do this at home. Oh, I'm meeting Marjorie at 3, and immediately have to run home.
Oh. I've got no
Oh,
problem with
really?
this. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Why was that so delayed?
Because it took me a while to think about it.
Processing it.
Yeah.
It's processing all this new information.
So anyway, the point being, Eddie Redmayne, you've got a lot to prove. Anyway, on we go.
I think he'll do all right, even if it's shit.
Probably. And you know what? He's got an Oscar. I think he's probably doing all right.
Done.
He's moved on from Burberry, at least, so we'll give him that.
Speaking of Oscars, a film that was touted when it first came, like sort of everyone's eyes, to have a lot of Oscars was Steve Jobs. Danny... God, I can't remember his name.
Wozniak.
Nope. Steve
DeVito.
Boyle!
Danny Boyle's film about Steve Jobs was written...
What has happened to you?
I'm really tired.
You're having a... No,
We've had a long
your
week.
third beer.
That's fine. Written by Aaron Sorkin, and it's absolutely tanked at the
I was
US box
really, really
office.
disappointed in this because I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan.
Yeah.
And especially because Social Network was such a good film. When I was watching the trailer, I was like, these could be hand in hand. Like, you could just watch these back to back. And I think they're going to pair really well.
Yeah.
I think the audience is going to receive this really well. And it just, like, is this because of, like, attendance or is this because of reviews? Like, I haven't actually seen reviews of the film.
Well, attendance has been like super down. Like reviews have been okay. Like me and Krupa saw it, and it's really good.
Oh, man, I really want
It's basically like a play. Like it's like a theater. Like it's like a theater. Like you sit down, it's like 3 acts and like really, really concise scenes.
Yeah.
Of like really, really like focused.
That's Sorkin for you.
And it's perfect. But it hasn't done what?
Do you think it's
Just
because...
going to be like, well, that's talking for
Oh,
you.
yeah, I'm a huge
But
fan.
it hasn't done it. Like people haven't bought into it for some
Do you think
reason.
it's because there's already been a Steve Jobs film that's kind of like taken away from some of the initial like hype?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
But then that didn't do very well, and that also
maybe
didn't
that's
have
why.
like Danny Boyle and Aaron Sorkin like Oscar winners like behind it.
So I'm going to
Like-
say something kind of controversial. Are we that interested in Steve Jobs as a human being?
Why
Yes.
not?
People
Well,
are.
'cause I think a lot of people are. I've never bought into that whole hype. And
You
I
just said, "Are we that interested?" I think a lot of people are. That's
no.
two very conflicting ideas.
I mean, I admit that, you know, obviously a lot of people like Max and all of this, but as a life story, I don't know, has it been too long? Like, after he died, there was a flurry of interest around his death, and then that kind of was capitalised on, I would say, by the Ashton Kutcher one, which then was shit, and now we've got this. And I just think, I don't even know, was the marketing concise and clear enough to differentiate it? If people say to you, oh, that's Steve Jobs' film, will you not just be like, oh, well, didn't that come out a while ago, and wasn't
Which
it
one?
crap? Yeah, how many people actually on the street know that there are 2 Steve Jobs films?
don't know. I did.
Well,
yeah,
but presumably a lot now.
Look where
No,
we
but
were.
it's Danny Boyle and Aaron Sorkin and Michael Fassbender and Kate Winslet. Like the amount
a lot of people like on the street, I don't think care.
What street are you walking down?
What street? The street with my mum on. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
all right. Well, either way,
I think
go
it
on
must
the
have just
street.
been.
Either way,
It must have just been
bummed.
like publishing. There must have been like some issue with advertising,
Yeah.
and just that push wasn't there.
But
to
I've
really,
seen
like, let
advertising
people-
everywhere for it. So
I hadn't, aside from just going to the cinema and seeing trailers. I didn't see one
I've
piece
seen,
of advertising
I've seen
for
it on
it.
buses and everything.
We should point out it's not out in the UK yet.
I have seen advertising. I mean, I don't know what it's like in the States, obviously, the advertisement, but in Das UK.
But it cost 30 million to make, which is not, it's a not crazy amount of money. But it's made 15 million so far.
Domestic.
I think they could claim it back.
Yeah.
With UK sales and
Maybe UK people be a bit more interested in it. I think maybe
Hopefully.
I came out of it thinking I can't think of another film that has a similar structure to it. So maybe that's a hard sell because it's really focused scenes around 3 huge launches.
Yeah.
So it takes place over basically
3 acts.
Yeah, 3 situations. There are some flashbacks to little tiny bits, but not much. And it's basically how their lives have changed and how he changed all the way through it. I don't know. I was really shocked. Like we talked about the other day about how Crimson Peak had absolutely tanked, but you can kind of see why that is because that's a hard sell. I think. Whereas I think pretty much everyone knows what Steve Jobs is. Like, Tilly was telling me. So Jim in the US, he has a theory about this. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think he was talking about it on Keeping It Real, which is. The reason people aren't going to see it is because they've already spent too much money on Apple products. So they think that by going to see this film, they're giving more money to Apple.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
There's it's all about Steve Jobs, but there's like no Apple branding in it at all. Yeah.
But I don't know, again, is it being communicated that the story of Steve Jobs is not the story of Apple? Are they 2 synonymous? Because a lot of people maybe just think...
But that's an equally fascinating story.
But I would argue that a lot of people have reached saturation point with it.
Well, with the phone, yeah, but not
Well,
the history of making computers in
But
your
with
garage.
Apple products, you know, when you already know all of it, you're just a bit like, oh, you get bombarded with it. And
I've got an iPhone. I have no idea how that came to be in my pocket.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
you
know-
stole it.
No, but this is like my third iPhone, and I'm just like,
You know this isn't a phone, Luke. this isn't like iPhone 7. This is a film.
I'm just making the point. I don't care about
I think
Steve
how
Jobs.
can a film like The Social Network do really, really well, and you know, similar sort of pedigree behind it. So Aaron Sorkin wrote both, obviously. You know, Danny Boyle, David Fincher. You know, arguably two.
I think
Massive heavyweights on the same sort of level.
because
What's the difference?
because there was publicity surrounding that to do with Zuckerberg saying this isn't true, the Winklevosses, and just a general kind of shouldn't the mighty fall. It was around the same time when the zeitgeist or what have you, a lot of people kind of turning a bit against Facebook. It was getting a bit too into your privacy, looking too much at your stuff, and so it was kind of a perfect storm, I think, and they really played off that animosity.
Plus, like the marketing
they
for it was
haven't done
so great.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
it was
couple of
just
really good
so.
trailers.
But they don't have that for this.
And
so-
for me, it was absolutely word of mouth. I was just meeting groups of friends, and they'd be like, "Have you seen The Social Network?" It's like you
Rory,
got to see it. It is like the greatest film.
Stop pretending you.
I
were
don't
groups
think
of
anyone.
friends.
I don't think anyone has said that yet about Jobs.
Yeah, it's odd though because it's a really, really great film. I came out of it thinking I haven't seen any other biopic that's like it. Like I learned more about that character in that than I did from your general life to death like biopic. Where like you think of something like Ray, which everyone was going like absolutely nuts about, like absolutely loved it. That's an awful film.
Yeah.
Like you learn nothing about that character. The same with the Johnny Cash film with Joaquin Phoenix as well. You learn barely anything because they're trying to cover all like this like crazy breadth of like incidents that happen in people's lives. Whereas this is focused on 3 separate events, 3 separate, really, really small. That maybe in real time is about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's focused on that. Like I've never seen anything as good as
I would
that
like to
when
see
in
it
biopics.
because
like,
it does sound very interesting.
It's brilliant. It's
I'll check
such
it
a
out.
good film, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
definitely should. Well, it's out on the 13th of November in the UK. Let's see if we can right the wrongs the US have done.
So now we move on to feedback. And remember,
Dun, dun,
if you have
dun.
any feedback that you want to send us, you can email at IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com. Starting us off this week, Mr. Rory Powers.
James says, "Hi team, can you please stop drinking while podcasting?
Bollocks.
It is the most infuriating sound in the world, sets my teeth on edge, and ruins the enjoyment of an otherwise amazing podcast."
Very sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry.
James.
Levon Young says, I've just started gaming with a surround sound headset in the last couple of months, which means I spent the entire 360 and PS3 generation without using one. PSVR may be the first time many gamers are exposed to surround sound. What was your first amazing sound design experience with a headset? I don't think I have ever played video games with a headset in my life.
So I actually did this like
Well, you definitely have. At every single preview or review event you've ever been to, you've played a video game with a headset.
But surround sound, is that surround sound?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, turns out all of my gaming experiences have been with headphones.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Can we edit that out? Can we edit that out? I don't know, really.
Well, I've had my most significant recently because my headphones at my desk don't work, so I had to use Alex's Turtle Beach headset.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Which is like incredible, and that's like insane. It's like a whole nother experience because you pick up, especially if you're playing like competitive games, you pick up on little noises and things that you just totally are not aware of at all. It really adds to like the experience. But aside from headphones, my brother-in-law has like a 7-point surround sound system
cool.
in his living room. So whenever we play zombies on the TV, you can hear them like growling in corners of the room. It's really crazy. It's like it is just another, and I know because of it, it's like a next level of immersion. They're going to be doing it a lot more with VR. That's why they have the headsets. So it's cool.
I've had a couple of like awesome experiences. I think like the first time that I ever sort of really got sold into next gen on Xbox One or PS4 was, I think it might have even been Call of Duty, which I'm not a fan of, but I was using the headset and hearing just like the amount of different sound effects and things like that. But he touched on something really interesting. Like VR doesn't work unless you've got amazing sound design. Like it lives and dies on that.
Well, then I guess in that case, the one that scared me was Alien Isolation. I mean, I didn't have it. It wasn't VR, but I did have the headphones.
Wait, what was
Yeah.
the question? What scared me?
No.
what's your
Sorry.
favorite, like
Amazing
one of the best,
sound
like,
design.
yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Isolation's brilliant.
I
for
was
that,
going to
yeah.
say, like, because there are loads of incredible sound designs out there, but obviously that is one where there is a very, very big difference having
Yeah.
a surround sound. Like when you can hear kind of like a clank behind you, like, you know, and so you look behind you on that is.
I played Isolation all the way through on with a headset, and there's so many bits in that I come to hate, even though it was really, really good, because there's so many things that happen that sound a little bit like the Alien.
Oh,
like the
yeah.
computer booting up, like that's not computer booting up. That's like, it sounds really organic. Like when you jump into a locker, you slam the door after you, and it's like, what are you doing? Why would you slam that door? And like, there's so much in there that really, really adds to that.
Do you want to know
It's
something really
good.
bad?
What?
I got Alien Isolation with my Xbox, and it's still in the wrapper.
Oh, why? You
Just
really like
haven't.
it?
It's
I
like
can't. I'm not very good at scary.
it's like
games.
a one. It's not a very social game. It's like gaming is like my social
Yeah.
time where I'm like playing with all my friends and stuff. So
It's
like it
good.
just seems like a lot to invest in. Like I don't know. I don't know. How long is the campaign?
12 hours.
God, isn't that the
That's not
that's
too
the
bad.
question that
That's
there was
the
loads
thing.
of shit about?
It
wasn't
does, it does actually go on a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people thought.
I might just like
You'll
break it
burn
out,
through it,
experience
though.
it. Well,
Like-
I'm terrified of everything.
No, but
you're
you're
good
good
at
at
games,
games,
though.
which is awful.
Let's do it.
We've actually got another one from Levon Young.
Yeah.
Who
You're
says,
killing it.
What's your favorite game in a genre you can't stand? For me, it's South Park: Stick of Truth in the RPG genre.
It's an
just
RPG.
I'm not a massive fan of fighting games, but I love old fighting games like Killer Instinct, not the remastered one. Like Rise of the Robots, which I actually still like. Clay Fighters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe, like all like side-scrolling. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know, those
Fighting
kind of,
games
like,
is a good one. It's easy to hate those because they can get so repetitive.
I
But
find
modern fighting games, I'm not into.
Yeah.
I find RTS games. I don't find them enjoyable. I find them stressful. Like really stressful. Having said that, Warcraft 3, and I don't know if it's just that hero mechanic, like which you know obviously then went on to be the champions in MOBAs and all of this. That's the one that I really like. So Warcraft 3 and I guess RTSs, but games like, but weirdly because there's elements of that in StarCraft 2, it just doesn't click with me. I just found it. I used to play the Command and Conquer games all the time, and I find them so stressful. Like just the multitasking and just
Yeah, it's like
making
adding chores to your real life.
it's making
like,
sure,
I hate it as well.
you're operating at peak efficiency at all times, and I am not an efficient man.
I know.
So I hate it.
I hate games that do that.
Yeah.
It's like, I can barely keep myself alive. How am I supposed to keep this family of Sims from starving?
Yeah, it's like having a Tamagotchi. It's like, why do I need more like responsibilities?
Well, I absolutely do not get racing games. I just
Yeah.
find them to be the dullest thing in the world. But it is a bit of a stretch of the genre, but I love the Burnout games.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously it's not just racing, it's a bit of chaos and,
Yeah.
involved in it. But I love those
Explosions,
games.
basically.
Yeah, explosions,
I like that,
crashing
actually,
cars. Like, if you want me to take a car around the track 80 times, that's mental. How does
Yeah.
anyone do that? I don't care how good the graphics are.
You'd really like Forza Horizon. Because
I don't think I would. Would
Nah,
I?
You really would, because it's not just like a drive-in; it's more of like an arcade thing.
Okay.
And they kind of give you a little bit. It's not really a story, but it's all about the music and like a festival. It's a really social game as well, which you really like, and you can like race against your friends like really, really easily. I think you'd really like
But
it.
is it just racing?
Yeah, but it's like you create your own races as well. So like there's like speed traps and things like that. So you can like a lot of the time, like on a Saturday morning,
Yeah.
if I can't be asked doing anything else, I was just racing my friend Trev, just going, oh, because you'd pass something and it'd be like pop up, Rory's done this speed trap, he managed to hit 164. I was like, okay, I've only hit 112 on this. So you just go back and forth racing it. It's a really good hangover game.
I mean,
Actually,
that's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
a really good
I used
feature.
to
Like,
play
what's the best hangover game?
Road Rash with
That is
my
a good
dad.
feature,
I like Road Rash in the racing game. That was cool.
We
What's
should
next?
drink a lot one night and then come in and do let's plays of all these games
No,
all
I'll
over.
do it.
Nah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we can.
As long as you don't have to get on
Just
public
bitch.
transport.
Or drink Fallout beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ewan Martin says, first time emailing, but when I heard of you talking about your best premiere experiences, I wanted to weigh in. I saw a first showing of Rocky Balboa in Edinburgh. Cinema was heavy with it was heavy with Rocky fans. Gav probably wouldn't have liked it. Lots of exclamations and hissed yes throughout the moment when Apollo's old coach gives a speech ending on "Let's start building some hurtin'."
Hurting bombs.
Hurtin' bombs. There we go.
I don't know that.
And
'cause,
equally
I know that line
awful
really
written.
well.
Then the Rocky theme kicked in and it went to a classic training montage, and it seemed like the entire cinema lost its shit. People on their feet, high-fiving, fist pumping and cheering. This sounds amazing. And then later on in the fight, the crowd started chanting Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. Loads of people were joining in.
What about it?
Just,
would you have enjoyed this? Good.
Yeah, so I mean, I went.
He's talking about his experience.
So, I went to a midnight showing of the Harry Potter.
Oh, I think I said Rocky Balboa.
Oh no, of just when it opened of Harry Potter. I think I did it for both of the Deathly Hallows, and then that in Leicester Square. So it was expensive, but it was like me, 4 of my friends. Like we went and
chanting Rocky,
Rocky, and it was just amazing. Like the atmosphere there was really good. Like at the end of an era, we'd seen all these films growing up. So that was great. I think that's probably my best one. I haven't really done.
You got nothing to say on Rocky Balboa?
I haven't seen any of the Rocky films.
That was all about.
Haven't seen any of the Rocky films.
So I thought you were going to say you had like a comparable experience or something like that. No.
Yes, with the Harry Potter films.
Well, people were chanting and stuff.
Well, yeah, everyone was like.
You didn't say that.
No match. No match.
You literally
the bit with the snake. Everyone's like snake, mother, snake.
You listened to him say that, and then you just went. I went to a midnight screening of Harry Potter.
Oh, I didn't contextualize.
That's literally what you said.
Sorry.
Do you know what? I don't know if I would mind that because.
At least it's related. It's enthusiasm about the film.
Yeah, it's community.
I think if you're in the right. Well, this is the problem. Like that kind of enthusiasm sounds somewhat enjoyable, but you have to be in the right mindset. You have to be willing to kind of like participate. But the problem is,
it depends on the type of film.
Everyone has paid their own money to see this, and not one group of people has the authority to set the tone of the experience.
Rory,
someone's not going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll end it there.
No, that's perfect. Like I think you're right. Like people, you can't just because like the front row is having a really good time.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
like 80 other rows might be having a really really shit time.
Exactly. They also paid.
So they have to pause the film, turn the lights on, be like, is everyone okay with us chanting? Yeah, all right, carry on.
Okay.
And we do it.
If you're not, there is subsequently a cinema 2A, which is screening with the quiet room. Yeah.
Right.
What have you got?
Daryl Sharp said, just noticed that BFI is showing Gregory's Girl as part of their love season between now and December. Even though I was only just born when it was first released, the movie has special meanings to me as it was filmed in my hometown, and I tried to get work as an extra on the sequel, Gregory's Two Girls, while at university, and passed the filming a couple of times on the way to and from university in Glasgow. Is there a movie that has any special meanings for you due to where it was filmed or an involvement you had with it?
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that Gregory's Girl had a sequel. I love Gregory's Girl.
What did they like? What did they like? The girl.
Yeah.
Double it.
Gregory's Two Girls sounds
Gregory's
like
Two Girls,
porn.
One Cup.
It does sound more like porn.
I bet Tilly's seen that.
Son of Rambo was filmed in my hometown.
Was it?
Yeah, they filmed bits of it in Berkhamsted. So, which is also where Alex is from.
Yeah. I was just listening to Garth Jennings, the director of that, talking on the Adam Buxton podcast, who's also in Son of Rambo, all about it. It's a really good podcast. You should check it out.
So yeah, so we had because I also worked the only cinema in Berkhamsted. It's quite a small town. They have one independent cinema where I worked first as an usher and then a barman. And because they'd done filming in the town and actually in the cinema itself, they kind of did a premiere like a mini premiere there where they showed it. So I worked that evening, which was quite fun. So I guess that would be the closest I have, really. But I was working the bar, so I didn't really see much of the film. So
I don't think I've ever been in a film.
I've never been in a film,
or it been filmed. I mean, Craig Roberts' new film, Just Jib, that's been filmed in the town that I grew up in, Mysycama. And there's a bit in the trailer where it's filmed in the sweet shop that I grew up like. That was the place that I had to go every Saturday. I was just like, right, go to the sweet shop, get some sweets. And there's a scene in it. I was just like, what the fuck? That's Jill's shop, man.
Jill's shop.
So I haven't had a chance to see it yet, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that and just basically annoying whoever I'm with, going, that's the park?
It's like bloody Rory going on about every time Game of Thrones comes on. You're always like, oh, that beach in Belfast. I'm near that beach in
Well,
Belfast.
that's wrong. It's not the beach in Belfast. It's the beach on the beautiful north coast.
Do you have
Port
one?
Stewart Beach.
Do you have one?
Well, yeah. If it's my home in Northern Ireland, then yeah, Game of Thrones. It's filmed like all over there. Like every time I watch an episode, I get taken immediately out of it because it's either my beach or my bandmate Kit is in like the Knights Guard. So I'm like,
Is he?
Yeah, he's freaking. He's in like.
Did you get to spot him?
Yeah. There's actually a really funny.
Kit, sorry, if you don't know, he played with Rory at our podcast 300.
Yes,
Yeah.
equally
live set.
blonde,
Yeah.
more Irish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you send us some
he
screenshots
does
of him?
loads of extra work for it. Yeah, it's crazy.
that's
Because like,
good.
if you go to Belfast now during the filming seasons of Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
all the students have beards. Because everyone needs money, and you have to have like beards to
Yeah.
work on the set of
God,
Game of Thrones.
that's-
It's really strange. So it's become like a bit of like a fashion thing now. Like everyone has like beards in
That's
Belfast.
amazing.
It's really cool. And then what? Like Georgia. Yeah, there's freaking tons filmed in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking Dead. There's a good example.
Right, we got one last one, but I already don't want to read it out because I've kind of read it. But I'm guessing you know the answer to it. that's
No,
why
I
you do
don't.
it.
You don't have to do it. Leave
All
it.
right, we're not doing
No,
that.
I feel bad. No, I don't know what it. Let me read it.
Well, this person doesn't know that we had it prepared, so
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can read it in your own
We'll
time.
do it. We'll do it next week. We'll do it next week.
Oh, they're
We'll do it
gonna
next
be.
week.
They want to know what it is now.
It's not exciting. I was wondering if one of these two could do it.
Well, we've gone on quite a bit.
Anyway.
So let's bring this to a close, and we shall see you next
Okay.
week for IGN UK Podcast number 305.
Big love.
Bye bye.